Normally before I record a video, I have everything planned out. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I have a general outline of where the video is going to begin and where it's going to end. Today is not one of those days. What we'll be doing in this video is getting all 8 badges and trying to become the champion like any other Pokemon playthrough, but each time we get a gym badge, we have to move over to the next game, repeating until we reach the Elite Four. We'll be starting this out in a Japanese copy of Red version and ending in Pokemon X and Y in honor of Pokemon Legends ZA release later this year. We'll also be doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, meaning if a Pokemon faints, we can't use it in battle again, and we can't use items in battle either. So let's load up the original Pokemon or Pocket Monsters game and hammer away. Is this going to work? I have no idea. So I'm using a lot of Japanese games because 1, English games are really expensive, just look at Emerald version, and 2, for the Gen 1 and 2 games, my English games don't have working save batteries, but the Japanese ones that I have do. After naming ourselves this Japanese letter that looks like a backwards E, and naming our rival a smaller backwards E, we head into the grass, meet Professor Oak, and pick our starter Pokemon, Squirtle, which was voted upon by you people on my Twitter page. We lay waste to our rival's Bulbasaur, who has a different spread in the original Generation 1 games, then collect the parcel to get our Pokedex, and finally be able to buy Pokeballs to add new Pokemon to our team. Oh crap, which ones are Pokeballs? I'm gonna guess it's this one. Wait, Google Translate. Okay, if I take my phone and I click the Translate app, that is not Italian. It's trying to translate from Italian and it's just translating to I'm sorry. Monster Hall. I believe that is a Pokeball. GameCube, can you be quiet? You're playing a 30-year-old game. Why are you this loud? That's why a lot of this video is post-commentated. Our first encounter is Nidoran male, which is really good early on. We then make it to the dreaded Viridian Forest, but in this version, there's plenty of Weedles to poison sting us and poison our Squirtle. Oh, our first actual battle. Okay, poison's only doing 1 damage in this game. Squirtle! I'm not gonna make it back to the Pokemon Center. Okay, down you go. We're level 7. You have another Pokemon. Alright, Nido guy? You might be sacrificed. Alright, let's play a game. Which move is the attacking move? Probably this one. Oh crap, that was Leer. Come on, Nido guy. Come on, Nido guy. Okay. Dude, who knew a bug catcher would cause this many problems? So after the battle, I decided to look around the Viridian Forest, see if there's a random antidote on the ground. I believe there are a few of them, however, the game's in Japanese, and it's also the original Gen 1 game, so it's a bit different. And then I'm doing this voiceover recording because another issue we had with this video, I don't know why my mic kept crackling. Luckily, I had the backup audio recorded on the camera. Bottom line, this video is very scuffed, but I spent the next few minutes looking for an antidote and then realized that I just can't find it. Oh, okay, well, you're dead. All right, you know what, I didn't need Squirtle anyway. Our first death of the Nuzlocke. I've known you so well, you will not have the pleasure of becoming a Blastoise, unfortunately. Which would have been really sick, because Blastoise is awesome, but you're dead. Rest in peace. All right, can I beat Brock with just a Nidoran? We'll see. Okay, look, I know it's not exactly good or ideal to lose your starter Pokemon in a Nuzlocke to what is basically the first real trainer fight, but it's okay. We have Nidoran, which is a key Pokemon in Gen 1 speedrun, so it must be good in this type of challenge as well. The only other Pokemon we can catch aren't great against Rock-type Pokemon, but Nidoran learns Double Kick before the level cap for Brock, which is still super effective. No, this is Generation 1, all the move pools suck, and Nidoran only has normal-type moves for Brock. Well, that is unfortunate, but we're Pokemon trainers, so we try our best anyway. I continue through the forest to get our encounter in Kakuna. Probably the worst encounter since Beedrill is no help either, and Butterfree would have been way better, but this is all we get. We have to somehow beat Brock with just a Nidoran and a Kakuna that only knows Harden. I guess this guy will be the ultimate test, because if we struggle against him, then we're not going to do well against Brock. Come on, Nido guy. Ooh, Scratch. That's a lot of damage. Oh, critical hit. We need a lot of those, Nido guy. Not bad. Oh, he's 2 Pokemon. We're faster. That's good. Oh, okay. Hold up. Ooh. That isn't good. Missed an attack. That's good for us. Sand attack. Okay. We're not being damaged. We're landing our hits. Need like 2 more. Oh, I'm dead. Didn't quite go as planned. Okay, attempt 2, chat, it's fine, we go again. Look, I don't do Nuzlocks a lot, and when I did, I wasn't exactly great at them. So let's just reset and play optimally, pick Squirtle again, and also buy some antidotes in case you get poisoned in the forest. I won't drag this out too long, but it turns out that if you pick Squirtle in red and blue and don't play like a complete idiot, then you can beat Brock very easily. This whole ordeal still took a lot more time than I thought, and now we have to deal with going over to Generation 2. Initially it wasn't working, and since it was in Japanese, I couldn't tell why, and I somehow didn't notice that a lot of the Pokemon had glitched names as you can see on the screen here. I wonder if that's going to cause any issues at all. I just exit the trade and go back in, but this time I decided to check the Pokemon summary. That might be the problem. What is this? Wow, Nidoran somehow made it back into this video. Is the dead Nidoran coming back to haunt me? Why is it all glitched out? Alright, chat, I have an idea. I'm going to trade from red to yellow, American yellow, and then from American yellow to crystal, and then to English crystal, to Japanese crystal for the Bugsy fight. I don't know how I managed to glitch out my games this badly. I'm playing on actual cartridges, so everything should work fine. Although maybe the issue was the Pokemon glitch out going from a Japanese copy of Gen 1 to an English copy of a Gen 2 game, so I decided to trade over the Squirtle to my English copy of Yellow version to see what would happen. Bellsprout and, oh gosh, 3 Trainer Poke will be traded. That is not a Squirtle. Bellsprout was into E. Oh wow, the English game picks up the name as E. Did this trade go through? Yup, whoa. We have, looks like a Snorunt, kind of. It's frozen. It's normal type. It has Psywave. That's not the right move. See, remember when I said at the start of the video that usually my videos have plans, and this one had like a very loose plan? This is kind of what I meant. Okay, this is R Poke Leaf Pokemon money sign. Nickname is greenish rectangle thing 3 train E. I expect my game to just, oh, that's not a good sign. Go! That is my Squirtle with Psywave. I don't think this is a Squirtle. And to no surprise, battling with this glitched mess just freezes our game. But what if we switch train it to level it up? It should level up soon, and let's see what happens. Okay, this time we're not backwards. Go! Aha, there is my Squirtle. Okay, let me switch to Dragonite. Come back, Squirtle. Come on. Oh, Dragonite, you left, or Squirtle, you left some of your HP bar on the screen. And then Squirtle should get some EXP from that. Okay, 22 EXP. Level 53? Oh, it's evolving! Okay, what's gonna evolve? Oh, it's a Kangaskhan now. Oh, it evolved to a Kangaskhan again! Okay, well, it works. I'm gonna trade this over and see what happens. This video is already so off the rails that I just want to figure out what happened. At least now we have a Pokemon that appears to be somewhat normal. I mean, it's a really high level, but let's just try and send to Generation 2 and see what happens. Oh, wow, that's just, so this, oh, its name is question mark now, and it's holding mail. Oh, that is not a Kangaskhan. Go! Oh my gosh. This thing cannot be sent in battle. Alright. Well, so I don't know how the Kangaskhan got this glitchy in Generation 2. It actually started out as a Squirrel, so I don't even know how it got into a Kangaskhan in the first place. But it wasn't letting me trade the Kangaskhan out of a Generation 2 game to another Generation 2 game, so I decided to breed an egg and see what would happen, but it also wouldn't let me trade the egg as the egg was being classified as abnormal. And yeah, it definitely was abnormal. So unfortunately, the Generation 1 and 2 games do not want to cooperate, mainly because Japanese Generation 1 and 2 games do not play nicely with English versions of Generation 1 and 2 games. I guess back then they never really thought anybody would try to trade between these two versions released on opposite sides of the world, but little did they know that about 30 years later, some crazy Pokemon guy on the internet would try it. I guess I could just fix the batteries on my English games and try this again starting with Generation 1, but we can at least do this starting with Generation 3 now, and if you want to see more videos like this, consider leaving a like and subscribing as it really helps a ton. Alright, back to the gameplay now with this Japanese copy of Ruby version, and I really hope that we don't run into any more issues mixing up the languages. And spoilers, we do run into a lot more issues in this video. Things in Ruby version go much smoother than they did in Red version. I start with Mudkip and name it Shrek, then a Wurmple named Bug, a Tailo named Bird, and a Wingull that I just forgot to nickname. Then of course we also get a Zigzagoon named Luffy, as I always need a Zigzagoon when I'm playing through the Hoenn region. After dealing with the issues from Generation 1 for like 8 hours, I play it a lot safer in reversion now and smarter and just rush right to Roxanne with our Mudkip and don't mess around. It evolves to Marshtomp and we beat Roxanne's rock types very easily, so now we go to my childhood copy of Leaf Green version, which is in English, and we already have some more issues coming from a Japanese game. Again, if I had so many issues with Japanese games, I don't know why I picked another Japanese game when starting this over. So the first issue is I have to play through Leaf Green and get the first gym badge so we can continue the Nuzlocke from there, fight Misty, then we're done with Leaf Green. I kind of overlooked the fact that each game will be starting at different points of the game later and later the farther we go, so I stopped recording for the day and play through Leaf Green on my own until I beat Brock off camera, with the intention of picking this up the next day, but it would be much longer than expected until I picked up this challenge again. So it's been about, I don't know, 3 weeks since I last recorded this video. I built a new PC. Last time I recorded this was St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I know it's like mid-April when you're seeing this, and it's currently April 4th as I'm recording this. So, had some technical issues, built a new PC. Long story short, take care of your PC case because the USB ports break, especially after 10 years. 2, having a 10-plus-year-old power supply isn't great. 3, don't use these cheap capture cards off Amazon. I'm pretty sure they ruined some of my USB ports. So, yeah, new PC, we're gaming. Took me 4 days to build it, but that's besides the point. I also have no idea if I can even trade from Ruby to Fire Red or have to use like Emerald as an intermediary game. I'm awfully sorry, we're not set to conduct trades with trainers far away from another region yet. Yeah, I had to build a whole new PC for this video, and this won't be the last computer needed to record this video, you'll see later on. But another issue we ran into is that you can't trade from Ruby and Sapphire to Fire Red and Leaf Green unless the copy of Fire Red and Leaf Green you're trading to has the national dex, which you can't get before beating Misty. You can't even trade Pokemon outside of the Kanto dex until then, so we can't use a completed copy of Fire Red as a middleman, but luckily Professor Tree has some connections to allow us to get Pokemon from Hoenn into Kanto much easier. We basically smuggled them in, but whatever, it worked. And hopefully this will be the last issue we run into. It won't be. So I don't think these Pokemon will obey us. I kind of overlooked that, especially for these older games. I think in newer games, Pokemon, the obedience is a lot more lenient. I guess we'll find out. Let's just fight some random person. There's Caterpie, level 10. Come on, Shrek. Oh, you're obeying me. Okay, that's a good start. No, you're ignoring orders. But you're still going for attacking moves. As long as you don't just like loaf around or go to sleep, I'm chilling. Our Pokemon not obeying us is a problem, but since most of them aren't great for Misty anyway, we can make it work with our next few encounters, which will be the original trainers for in this game. We can get either a Bellsprout or Oddish for Misty, which is nice, then some other Pokemon that might help out like Clefairy and Mount Moon if we're lucky, and just maybe even a surprise Pokemon that you might not expect to be good against Misty. I did some off-camera grinding, so we can have multiple Pokemon at a good level. This makes it easier since when your Pokemon don't obey you, it's nice to have options to switch into when they just sit there and don't attack and take damage. Bird the Tailo starts to shine a lot here, and we get another bird encounter that we accidentally knock out, but all hope isn't lost yet as we get a very special Pokemon here as well. Little pro strat for Fire Red Leaf Green. Always get this Person Berry here, because Misty's Starmie, and Staryu I think, have Water Pulse which can confuse you, and Person Berry cures confusion. Another pro Nuzlocke strat, free encounter right here. Get this Magikarp. I will buy it. I will buy it just for another encounter. And I will name you Fish. Fish the Magikarp has Bite once it evolves into Gyarados, which is great for us, as Mount Moon doesn't give us anything special, and the route outside Cerulean City gives us another Spearow which we catch this time and name Bird 2, which isn't terrible, but we still don't have anything that's great for Misty. We could fight our rival and go north of the Nugget Bridge for another encounter, but our Pokemon don't obey us and I really don't want to risk all these fights with low-level Pokemon. Instead, I just grind up Magikarp into Gyarados so it has Bite to hit Misty Starmie super effectively and try to make that work the best we can. While preparing our other Pokemon for Misty, I also remember the Crobat effect, as I like to call it, which occurs in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Basically, any Pokemon not in the Kanto Dex won't evolve until after you get the National Dex, so we're stuck with some unevolved Pokemon. This is most commonly seen with Golbat in Generation 3, or rather Fire Red and Leaf Green, which just doesn't evolve into Crobat and stops evolving. We at least have two Pokemon that obey us in Fearow and Gyarados, which is cool, but both of them are weak to Electric, which we have to fight after Misty when we go back to the Hoenn region for the Emerald version. Leader Misty. There's her Staryu, level 18. Okay, Shrek. If you go for Mega Kick, Mega Punch... Oh, I pressed A by accident. Or Mud Shot, you'll be fine. I think I clicked Mega Punch by accident there. You're not obeying me. Okay, well, let's go for Mud Shot. You're going for Hardens. That's not great, because I only have physical moves. Ignored orders. Goes for Mega Punch. Lands. Come on. Okay, not bad, not bad. We can maybe bait out the potion on the Staryu at least. I really have to preserve this Marshtomp, though, because I'm gonna need it for Watson. If I don't have it against him, I don't know how I'm beating Watson. Won't obey. If you're not going to obey me, at least go for another move. Ignored orders. Mega Kick, you land. Okay, down you go. Okay, in comes Starmie. We didn't bid on any potions. I don't want to risk losing my Shrek. I'm going to go to Wingull. I think Wingle's the most expendable party member at this point. That is a lot of damage. We're the same level, and I did half, and it's resisted. Well, Wingull, you did what you had to do. Let's go to Gyarados. Come on, I don't want to lose Gyarados. I ideally want to lose as few Pokemon as possible. But if I lose Gyarados, I won't need it for Watson, so it's not that bad. Okay, there's the bite. Solid damage, but we're not going to two-shot. I'm going to go for Tackle here to get it out of potion range, hopefully. Okay, out of potion range. Let's go for Bite. Let's not get confused. Come on, fish. Save the day. There's the confusion. We connect. Okay, second badge acquired in this incredibly scuffed transfer out Nuzlocke thing that I'm doing. We did have to sacrifice Wingull against Misty, which was unfortunate, but we have so many flying type Pokemon anyway, and we can only transfer up 6 Pokemon at a time, so we'd have to leave something behind regardless. Now, let's go to Emerald version. So we're back. We're actually in a Japanese copy of Emerald that my buddy Droomish let me borrow because they happened to have one that was at the point of the game that we needed. For some reason, in Leaf Green, I cannot trade Shrek. Well, if you're gonna be like that, Nintendo. Wow, look at that. Back in Emerald version after definitely trading my Pokemon over. Our party has nothing. We're still bruh. So if I go to the PC, I should be able to see all the Pokemon that I transferred over. And they should obey us, which is huge. And then we can go and fight Watson. And also do some other things like fight our rival. I kind of forgot about that rival fight. It is one of the hardest rival fights in the game. Our Zigzagoon can evolve now. Same with our Wingull and Taillow if we level them up enough, which is kind of sick. I just realized we have 2 birds now. And I don't mean 2 birds as in bird 2. I mean bird 2's name got changed to just a bird in the Japanese game because the space counts as the 5th letter. While we still need to go to the Granite Cave to deliver the letter to Steven, I'm not going to get an encounter here. Since you're only allowed 1 encounter per area in a Nuzlocke challenge, I'm going to treat any area close to or before the gym as counting already, so we won't get our first encounter in Emerald version until after Slateport City. Luckily for us, that encounter ended up being Oddish, which we named Plant. Can you stop doing that, White 2? You scared me. You know what? We're not gonna get to you for a while anyway, White 2. There we go. You gonna stay like that now? The games kept falling down a lot while doing this. Who knew that using Scotch tape to hold them up on a whiteboard wouldn't be the most sturdy thing in the world? As for our rival fight, I just use Fearow, which matches up nicely against her. Taillow evolves into Swellow, then for our next and final encounter in Emerald version of Route 117, it's Illumise. The worst possible thing we could have found here, but all that we have to do now is fight Watson so we can leave the GBA behind and move on to the DS games. Shrek should make this easy as it's part ground type and has Mudshot, at least I think it's Mudshot as this is a Japanese copy of the game so I can't really read what it says. But one of the battles in Watson's gym is a double battle though, and our plethora of flying type Pokemon don't help us out too much. I play it safe and try to keep Marshtomp at all costs since there's nowhere beating Watson without Marshtomp, and have a rather unfortunate misclick with our Fearow. I went for Pike on the wrong Pokemon. I misclicked there. I don't know what I went for there with Fearow. Bird? Sorry. You would have been nice for Crasher Wake. Actually, would you have been nice for Crasher Wake? Not really. You would have been nice for something. I don't really know. Like, I'm confusing all my gyms. There's too much going on here, but whatever. We have other birds. Rest in peace, Wingull and Fearow. But it's fine. We're only bringing 6 Pokemon, and now we have 6 Pokemon in the party with Illumise and Oddish. Would I have rather traded that Illumise for, like, anything else? Probably. But at least we get the Oddish, and I definitely wanted the Oddish. Look, it doesn't matter too much. We still have Marshtomp, which just gets through Watson while only taking 1 HP. So far, most of the gyms have been pretty easy, and the biggest difficulties we've had was transferring over Pokemon or just getting to the gym leader. And going from this Japanese copy of Emerald version to my English copy of Diamond won't be any easier. For now though, we just have to point my camera to my DS so we can record the transfer. The option to transfer up Pokemon to the PAL Park from the GBA wasn't appearing in the menu of the DS games, so I thought maybe the DS console wasn't picking up the Emerald cartridge, so I kept trying and just couldn't get it to work. It turns out that Japanese Game Boy Advance games can't transfer Pokemon to English copies of Generation 4 games. I don't really know why, but we have a workaround. What we need to do is trade Pokemon from Drumish's Japanese copy of Emerald to my English Sapphire version that we used for the Professor Oak challenge video not too long ago, then go from Sapphire version to Pearl version, then trade from Pearl to Diamond, as this copy of Diamond only has 3 gym badges and can't access PAL Park yet. Incredibly convoluted and tedious, transferring to Diamond took me over an hour to do, but we'll finally get our Pokemon over to Diamond version. Now remember earlier when I said we need to use a third computer to make this video possible? For some reason, my DS and 3DS capture cards just don't work on my computer. And I don't know why. They pick up on my MacBook just fine, at least sometimes the DS one does, and on the day I decided to record this part of the video, it just wasn't cooperating, so I had to use my 10-year-old 2DS capture card to record the DS games, record the gameplay on my MacBook, record the audio and the bad webcam on my new PC, and then use the good face cam with my camera. All of this trouble just for a silly video, so if you guys think me going through all that trouble is worth it, let me know. Anyway, back to Diamond version. Before leaving Veilstone City, we have to help our rival fight Team Galactic. The level cap is level 30, so we get through it no problem, then head south of Astoria City. Oddish evolves to Gloom, which is great for the upcoming Water-type gym, then our encounter ends up being a Geodude, which is pretty solid. It can be used later on, and since we're transferring and trading a lot of Pokemon, we can maybe even get a Golem later on. This section of the game is short, and won't even take as long as it took to transfer our Pokemon over to this game, which is pretty funny.
Alright, Crasher Wake. And I was right, it took me 37 minutes to get to you. It took me an hour and 10 minutes just to transfer Pokemon up to this game. I'm leading with Gyarados. I figure we can Dragon Rage or something on his Gyarados. And then we have our own Gloom for the rest of his Pokemon. I do believe his Floatzel has Ice Fang, Ice Punch, one of the 2 moves. That is a little scary. I lied. Apparently I'm not leading with my Gyarados. Alright. This might actually work out better because we can bait on an Ice Fang and also get the Intimidate. Alright, let's go to Fish. There's the Intimidate. Good. Oh, one for Brine. I don't know if Bite or Dragon Rage would do more. I'm gonna go for Dragon Rage first. It probably has like 88-ish HP, I would guess. Yeah, it has barely above half. Okay, Bite's not gonna do a lot because of Intimidate. I'm gonna go for Bite of my own. This should put it out of potion range. It's Dragon Rage. There's a Super Potion. Will that heal you to full though? It will not. Okay, 2 Dragon Rages will do it. There's the second Dragon Rage, and down goes Gyarados. Good. Okay, I may as well stay in on Quagsire, honestly. No potion, but we're at a lower HP than we should be. And then there's Floatzel. I don't want to let Gyarados die. I don't know what he's going to go for here. He might go for Ice Fang. Do I let Illumise die? Is this your legacy, Illumise? Dying so I get a free switch? I'm going to do it. I don't want... Gyarados and Gloom are too good. Pursuit! I don't think there's anything I could have done there. I think if I stayed in, I was still dead. And I still have to go to my Illumise, which sucks. I can probably save Illumise here and go to Plant. Skillfully dodge the Ice Fang. Okay, it's Mega Drain to 2-hit KO. Come on, Gloom. Come on, get us Gym Badge number 4. The halfway point, sort of. Does over half. 1-hit KO, critical hits. Now we gotta go to Heart Gold. I believe in Heart Gold we have to do the Lighthouse stuff, which is a little annoying. But other than that, it's Lighthouse, surf on over to Mahogany Town, or Cyanwood Town, whatever town that is, and then just fight the gym leader. Losing our Gyarados was tragic, but we still have Swellow, which has been our ace Pokemon ever since Fearow died back in Leaf Green version. It should really shine in Heart Gold, where our 5th gym battle is against Chuck and his fighting-type Pokemon. He only has 2 Pokemon even. Pretty much all I have to do in this section is just fight Chuck. Now, I forget why I couldn't transfer over my Linoone to this game. I think I honestly just forgot to transfer it over because I haven't used it at all. But that shouldn't matter too much. I say that as I need a surfing Pokemon though, which Linoone gets. Gotta stop doing that, Platinum. See, look what happened to White 2. You want that to happen to you?
Our first encounter is Magnemite, which is a great Pokemon to get since the next gym we're going to is Platinum version, meaning we can get a Magnezone. We then head south to Olivine City and get the fishing rod to fish for Krabby, which we can use to surf into the next town, then catch a Tentacool on the water before reaching Cyanwood City. We don't need to go through the lighthouse to fight the gym or do any story element stuff really, so I just go right to Chuck's gym. Chuck only has 2 fighting type Pokemon, and our best Pokemon is Swellow, which is just faster and has wing attack, so we can get gym badge number 5 and then return to Sinnoh for the 6th badge in Platinum version. The funny thing about Platinum is since the gym order is different than it was in Diamond and Pearl, we actually pick up the game in Platinum right after Crasher Wake, which is where we ended off in Diamond version last time we were there. The difference though is we have a lot of story things to do before we can fight Byron in Conolave City for gym badge number 6. I start off by grinding our team a bit to around level 34 since the level cap is 41 and we have quite a lot of battles before then still. Tentacruel will be good for Byron, and while Magneton isn't amazing in a steel type gym, we can at least get a Magnezone pretty soon, which will be amazing later on. The team has really started to take shape with 3 really good Pokemon, then Graveler, which isn't bad, followed by Illumise, which is kind of just there and will be replaced later on when we get new encounters. First, we have to chase down the evil Team Galactic Grunt, then meet Cynthia, who tasks us with going to Celestic Town to meet her grandmother. I don't have Defog in this game, so we have to go through the fog on this route, which lowers our accuracy in battle, which was very annoying and tedious. This took quite a while, but Graveler and Magneton actually match up really nicely against most of the Pokemon here, allowing us to go to Celestic Town pretty easily. Once in Celestic Town, we have to fight Cyrus, but first we can evolve Magneton into Magnezone and Mount Coronet nearby. With the story parts finally out of the way, we can surf on over to Conolave City next to Jubilife City. The next encounter we can get here is on Iron Island, which should be pretty good because if we get an Onix, it'll have some ground type moves to hit Byron's steel type super effectively. Before we get there though, we have to fight our rival on the bridge, and this shouldn't be too bad.
We do have a rival fight on this bridge too, but I think we should be able to take him on pretty easily. Okay, Intimidate. So he might have close combat, so I don't want to go to Magnezone. Let's go for Fly. We're still faster. Goes for double team. Why are you doing this, Barry? Why are you doing this? Okay, we still land. Can I get the one shot through Intimidate? Not even close. Okay, I guess we go for Aerial Ace. I think 2 Aerial Aces should do it. Oh, maybe not. Goes for Takedown. It's gonna take takedown recoil damage.
Aerial Ace should kill.
He has Quick Attack.
Swellow, MVP thus far. I will never forget you. Okay, so double team, quick attack, takedown. Double team, quick attack, takedown. There's no way he has close combat. He has to have a flying type move. It's the Thunder Shock. I forgot he went for 2 double teams. Okay, we hit the second one. Down goes Staraptor. Man, who knew Platinum would be the most difficult section of this game? Of this playthrough, I should say. Dude, he has 5 Pokemon into Rapidash. We can go to Tentacruel here and go for Surf. I think Tentacruel's going to start picking up a lot of the slack from Swellow being gone. Or down goes Rapidash, rather. Into Heracross. Why would you go to Heracross? I don't have anything to switch into a Heracross. You know, remember when I complained about having a lot of flying types before? Now I have none. Night Slash goes from 57 to 20. I can't take another Night Slash. I think the only way we kill here is if we get a crit, though. I'm going to go to Plant. And maybe put it to sleep. Okay, he has a fighting type move. There's Brick Break. Let's go for Sleep Powder. Oh, it has Aerial Ace too? Okay, Plant's still alive. Plant, please land the Sleep Powder. Okay, good. So what move is most likely to KO this? Probably Rock Blast. Rock Blast is going to be neutral and it's going to be Stab. He's at about 75% HP, so I'm thinking if we hit 3 times, we should knock out. I mean, we do have Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct would KO. I don't want to risk... Oh, that does no damage. I'm clicking it. It woke up. It woke up. Don't kill me with Brick Break. Come on, Graveler, please. Graveler. 13 HP. Self-destruct, Graveler. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. You got us through this Heracross. That's all I got. That's all I could ask for. Honey still has like 3 more Pokemon. I have to go to Magnezone. Magnezone's the only thing with green HP besides Illumise. So we can Thunder Shock. Goes for Bubble Beam. That shouldn't do too much damage. 60 HP down to... Oh. Oh, wow. This is... Illumise, you're being sacrificed. And honestly, your sacrifice will kind of be in vain because the only reason why I have you is to die. I'm thinking Plant has to... The only way I win this is Plant lives a hit and we Mega Drain. Metal Claw. Is that resisted? Apparently not. Oh boy.
Tentacruel, no. Not like this.
Alright, Magnezone. Maybe Empoleon will be stupid. Go for a weaker move. And we'll get the paralysis off Thundershock. And we'll escape here with at least Magnezone. No, he goes for Bubble Beam. You know, this video gave me so many issues from the very beginning. I should just be happy we got this far. I mean, look, we got through the top row of games. Unfortunately, I don't know. Okay, well, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Alpha Sapphire, and Platinum just kept falling, so ignore those. And unfortunately, our transfer up journey ends prematurely in Platinum version just before Gym Badge number 6. This is the second time it ended since we had to restart after Generation 2. Actually, no, this is the third time we had to start over because I lost in Red version before I even got out of the Viridian Forest. Either way, this was incredibly scuffed and took way longer to make than I initially thought. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and maybe in the future I can try something similar to this, just without all of the jank, and maybe actually go through each generation 1 through 8 and then have Gen 9 be the Elite Four or something like that. I don't know. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you all next time, and bye-bye.